First thing that I made, okra, 250 grams, 80 grams of tofu, garlic, ginger, turmeric, and a 1/4 teaspoon of coconut oil. Second thing I made was, I forget, I think this is Gai Choi or something. I forget what it's called. It's 250 grams. Shiitake mushrooms, 150 grams, 100 grams of chopped carrots, and garlic, ginger, turmeric, and I'm gonna go get mung bean and throw it on top. This is the bottoms of the plant. I ate the top, which is the leaves. These are the bottoms, so I'll save that for later. And then I made 400 grams of spiralized daikon radish that I'll throw on one of these dishes here and there, just to make it taste extra crunchy. Yes, if you want. Yeah, that's good. Technically, that's probably 2 meals. Probably 2 meals. Probably 4 meals. 1.5. But for me, I'm gonna eat the whole shit right now. I love okra. Probably shouldn't eat on the camera. It's probably annoying. All right. So I'm getting a little bit better at making the video and the content. I'm gonna try and organize it a little better and like have something to talk about instead of just rant about different things each day. So these vegetables are really important to me. So I'm just showing like there's a ton of variety. There's a whole bunch of different stuff you can do. Okra has so many nutritional value. The tofu is always good. This morning I didn't go to the gym. I woke up at 5 and I started seeing patients at 6. So I took care of them. I got the next wave coming from 8:30 to 9:30. I'm gonna go all the way till about 4 o'clock today seeing patients. After that, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'll probably walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes uphill. And then I will go lift heavy today. I think I'll do squats and some kind of leg stuff, lunges, squats, and that kind of thing. I'll talk about it later. I'll write it down and give you guys what I do later. Yeah, I'll probably eat all of this by 11 a.m. and then cook another round of this, eat all that by 4 p.m. And then after the gym, I don't have steak in the house. Normally I would eat like steak, avocados after, but I'll probably make another round of this and definitely eat some tofu just because I worked out and I want to get the higher protein in my body. You know, is it everything? No, just a little bit. Just makes me feel good. And I feel lighter, cleaner, happier, healthier. This is day 3. I'm really trying hard not to eat dates, nuts, peanut butter, and these like organic dried figs and dried bananas. And then dark chocolate, 100% pure, all mixed together, all those things. Because I can't just eat one. If I could, I would, but I cannot just eat 2 dates, 5 macadamia nuts, 1 tiny morsel of chocolate, and like 1 tiny piece of banana and be satisfied. Once I do that, I end up eating every last bit of it. You know, I don't know if anybody else has the same problem, but pretty sure it's a nasty food addiction. Whether I'm upset, I don't know if it's emotional, but like I just can't control myself when it comes to those couple items and certain things. And once I have that like little hit of sugar, even though it's not refined sugar, it's still date sugar, some kind of sugar, my body goes crazy and it starts like fiending for it and like craving it. So that's kind of another reason why I don't mess around when I'm doing this with like rice, because I think rice is the carbohydrate, and then I get really excited for the rice. I do like the same thing. I'll have you know, like 1 little cup, the proper serving, sorry, and then I'll just go nuts and eat like the entire pot of rice, or I'll just cook another one and another one and another one, and I'll just say, oh, it's gluten-free. I can eat, you know, 5 bowls a day of it, which you can't if you're trying to clean up your insides. You know, like, is it gonna really harm me? Probably not, because there's no gluten in it. You know, the carbs and all the other stuff, and it turns to sugar apparently, is what gets me going. So that's why I don't eat that much rice, or if I do, it's like one time a month, here and there if it's in like a hand roll at a sushi place, or you know, if somebody makes the rice. So I try and keep the rice to an absolute minimum. I hate grilled chicken. I hate brown rice, because when I was younger and I was like lifting heavy and following like the bro science, I took a lot of testosterone, HGH, winstrol, anavar, EQ, deca, all these steroids probably from the age of 22 to about 32. So like 10 years through. I did not look like a ripped juice head bodybuilder, anything. I just got really bloated, really big, really strong, really angry. All side effects that you can think of happened to me. I got gynecomastia, really nasty. I had to have the surgery. The surgery went haywire. I ended up in the ICU for 10 days. I almost died. So that was brutal. My thyroid shut down. They tried to put me on thyroid medication. They tried to put me on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, for the rest of my life, just so I can get out of bed, have energy, get a boner, have sex, all that. It was fucking crazy what this shit did to me. All my hormones were out of whack. All my levels were crazy. My cholesterol, my bilirubin, just everything was so out of whack. My testosterone went up to 1,000 and down to like 64. It was crazy during this time. So I really don't advise steroids unless you're trying to be a bodybuilder and you're following a doctor's protocol and he's babysitting you and you're getting blood work every week. If not, don't do it. You know, and if you go to these anti-aging clinics and you want to get a little bigger or more testosterone or look better in the gym, it's not worth it. It's really not. Like, your sex drive will go through the roof, your attitude will be all fucked up, your hormones will be so out of whack, your organs will expand, your cholesterol will go up, you run the risk of heart disease, heart attack. It's really dangerous, all this stuff. And then you'll try and counteract the bloating with novaldex, arimadex, all this stuff. And like, just to play that game is crazy. It's just the medical system all over again, trying to biohack your body, you know, and look younger through stem cell, testosterone. Like, honestly, that stuff made me look 100 years older. You know, the HGH, all of it made me look older. What's making me look younger is this. All this has made me look younger, feel younger, healthier. All my blood work comes back great. All this disease that was showing up in my body has slowed down or gone. The inflammation, my hormones being out of whack, my testosterone levels are normal, my HGH levels are normal. I don't have hypo or hyperthyroidism where I had to take T4, T3 pills every day, an injection of testosterone. Like, none of that has to happen. Like, everything balanced out. It took 2 years to clean off of it, because 3 years ago, instead of injecting myself, I went to the anti-aging clinic here in Hayward, and the guy had these pellets. And he did my blood work that day and said, oh, okay, you're a candidate for it. You have low testosterone. So I believe everything the doctor says, okay. He's like, we can make an incision in your back right here next to the spine and implant these 3 pellets and give you, you know, it'll just secrete doses of testosterone into your body. And I had just started cleaning myself up, feeling really good. So I'm like, oh, okay, I've got a pretty good diet. I'm feeling great. Why don't I enhance this with testosterone and you know, then I'll be superhuman. Like, this will be great. So I did it. They cut me open. The shit hurt. I think he cut a nerve there, because I can't even feel that part of my body. It's 2 years later. He put these pellets in me, and then like instantly I swelled up. You know, I started leaning out. I was looking good, and then I swelled up again. I got the bloated. I got like a super high sex drive, which was just like out of control with, you know, wanting to have sex and thinking about sex, and like, you know, I'm on semen retention. So that's a whole nother story. But what it does is it frees your mind of the addiction to sex, porn, masturbation, the release, all that. So with the testosterone being so high, I couldn't concentrate on anything, because all I wanted to do is just lift, eat, have sex, have sex, have sex, have sex, have sex, you know, because your sex drive is through the roof and it's secreting. Then I'm getting bloated, so I'm like, oh man, I'm bloated, like this, you know, I don't look good. What can I do? Then they give me these pills called arimadex and novaldex, and that's to lower your estrogen. So now I'm playing a game, high testosterone, high estrogen, take this pill, lower my estrogen, raise my testosterone, and trying to find that balance. It's damn near impossible. And then you have stress from life, all things coming into play. So steroids and even TRT, however you want to like justify it, is so not worth it. It doesn't do anything good for you. And if it does, and you get in the gym and you get your vein out here and you get this pump and you're super tan and you see these old dudes in the gym looking like that, it's just reckless. Like, you just hate yourself at that point, and then you have to validate everything through your muscles and your gains in the gym. You know, like you're hiding something. Like, you know, do you really need to have muscles like that? Like, what are you doing in the world that you need muscles like that? Is it for work? Is it for something? Is it for your health? Or is it for female attention and dopamine hits and people to look at you and say, ooh, look at that buff guy. Ooh, he works out hard. Ooh, look at his veins. But then you have to go home, eat 10 pounds of grilled chicken, do your injection, have your hormones all out of whack, and all things go awry. You know, are there cases where it works smoothly for them? Maybe. I genuinely don't believe it. Like, I really don't believe you. You know, if you are not doing it for vanity, if you're not doing it because you want to have a certain look, or you think you're too old, or you think you can't achieve it by eating this and going to the gym and not lifting heavy, you're crazy, because you can. Simple as that. I get more attention now, thinner, eating vegetables in the gym, and people ask if I'm on steroids, which I'm not, and I have way more energy. You know, the steroid guy, not a good idea, my friend. The distended belly, as the belly and the organs protrude forward, the rectus abdominis stretches, and you run the risk of tearing it like I did through diastasis recti, which is a common problem in men with beer bellies, big guts, because it can't hold it anymore. So it just says, fuck it, I give up. And it tears, or it just breaks so far apart that you stand no chance to pull this in. And then what happens is the rib cage flares up, a lot of stress on the low back. You have no core support, so you run the risk of hernia. And when you do sit-ups, you're just making bigger, bulgier, blockier abs that your stomach distends further than your chest. You could spot these people everywhere, you know, and there's no point in doing sit-ups. Like, it's not gonna pull your belly in, you're just gonna push it further out. And that's where a lot of this problem happens. There's a lot of inflammation that occurs that pushes the belly out from the food you're probably eating. And then the distension of the belly is a big problem, because then you have anterior pelvic tilt, low back pain, rib cage flare, all things out of alignment. You know, as a chiropractor, I see this all the time, and I can tell when they eat gluten, because they eat the gluten and they're like, oh, nothing bad happens, I can, you know, I'm okay. But I feel it in their body around like T8 to T12 is responsible for large intestine and digestion. I could feel it swollen back there and all the pressure, because the belly does inflame and enlarge, organs swell up, the belly distends, maybe not massively, but enough that it puts pressure on the diaphragm goes up, the rib cage goes forward and flares, all the pressure on the low back. And then if you go to lift to counteract it, you're exposing your low back, and that's usually when you slip a disc, supposedly slip a disc, herniate a disc. It just goes out of alignment. You don't need a surgery, you're not crippled for life, you just need to see a chiropractor for real, get some x-rays, change your diet, get adjusted regularly, and things come back. I'm living proof. I've been through it. They tried to give me surgeries for everything. It's just reckless. They want to give you surgeries for everything. So I guess it was a steroid rant today, and a little bit about chiropractic. I'll go deeper another time. My food's getting a little cold, so I'm gonna have to reheat it. And I really want to eat this before the next patients come in, so that'll do it.